Okay, so what I'm doing today is I'm packing some Greeblie boxes. So these are medium flat rate boxes here in the US that I can ship flat rate. It cost me like $16 or $20, I forget what it is. And then I am just putting in all these odds and ends. I've got cases for hard drives. I've got a lens from a projector TV, end of a motor, quite a few heat sinks of different styles, another piece from a projector TV that the lens plugs into and that has the light passing through it. There's I don't even know what to call it. It's a piece out of the bottom of a TV, the base of a flat screen TV. This I think is the end off of another motor. And here, excuse me, in here I've got I think that was a piece of a motor as well, the centerpiece for a motor. Down in here I've got a couple little heat sinks and the piece from a VCR that still moves and actually still has all the electronics, so they might be able to actually motorize that. So it's just a literal plethora of stuff that you and I would consider junk, and the value of this box is probably somewhere in the I have all this in here. I think that's good enough. The value of the stuff in this box isn't much to us. This is probably, I may try and squeeze a little bit more in here. If we take this to scrap, we've probably got a couple pounds of aluminum. So maybe what, $3. This piece is plastic, so has basically no scrap value. This little piece, yeah, I left the electronics in it. It's old. It might have a tiny bit of something in it, who knows, but otherwise no real value to us. The lens has no real value for scrap wise, and like I said, all the rest of it is aluminum. So I'm going to box this up. Like I said, I might try and throw one more piece in here just as a bonus. I've already taken pictures of everything in here. I took pictures of the front side and the back side of this. And here's just another little piece of aluminum heat sink I'm going to toss in there as a bonus that's not pictured. And I'm going to take this box shut. And I'll show you from start to finish what I do on the second box. Now, I do have, there's a community that I'm a member of. I might try to throw some, before I send it, I may try to put some packing material in there to keep it from bouncing around too much. Let's see, this time we'll do one of these. I got a lens for each one of them, but we'll put together 4 boxes here. Nice heat sink. This is the a part of a stove, the aluminum burners out of a gas stove. Each box is getting 5 CD-ROM drives. little heat sink there. Oh. This is the base out of one of the flat screen monitors that I was mentioning. Another couple heat sinks. Let's see what else I got. We'll throw in this motor combo. Maybe they can do something with that. There's a couple of antennas off of a server unit, I think. And this is the, I believe, a stator for something. And here's just an interesting piece of plastic that doesn't look like anything normal. You know, this is something that they can look at and do other stuff with. Doesn't have to be fancy. And we're going to give them one of these things, which is the tuner out of an old television. Back when they had knobs on them. These things just, it has a cool look, and I think they'll appreciate that. And it's not something that people will recognize for the most part these days. And we'll give them this thing, which is just some rollers out of a printer. Who knows, maybe they can do something with that. And this is a buckle off of a belt or a strap of some kind. Just a interesting shape. So, you know, I've just laid this stuff out. It's approximately what will fit into one medium flat rate box. Get up here and take me a picture of all this, and then I will go through and I will flip everything. Keeping everything in place. Now that I can't really flip. Same for these guys. But I will flip that, I will flip that, I will give them the other side of that, I will give them the other side of that. Okay. Second picture. Capture everything. And then I just need a box. A lot of times what I will do is I will actually put it in the box and pack it, then take everything out, photograph it, and then repack it again, hoping that I can fit everything back in again. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But again, you know, this is just stuff that, yes, I could take some of it to the scrap yard. I could melt some of it. You know, for example, all the aluminum I could melt or take to the scrap yard. Most of this is extruded aluminum, so it's, you know, 80 cents a pound or something like that. I forget what it is. Plastic, I couldn't get anything for. Steel would go in a shred. Steel, I'm not even sure what the antennas would sell for, if they would sell for anything. This has a tiny bit of copper in it. This has a tiny bit of copper in it. Aluminum, glass, and plastic, so no real value here. Plastic, so, you know, again, we're talking, you know, $3-4 at tops of value that I would get in there. And most of that in the value for the aluminum. Now let's see here. Now it's just a matter of stacking the stuff in here in such a way that things don't damage each other and move around too much. And there is no proper front side or back side to any of this stuff. It's just whatever they see that they can deal with. And for example, this plastic piece I'm putting in here, it can be used either way, and it's got interesting features both ways. So, you know, it's just a matter of what they want to do. If they put it on a board this way, this flange over here looks like they could have wires or, you know, ducting come out of it. If they put it this way, you know, they might do something completely different with it. That's up to them. I don't try and figure out what they want to do with stuff. I just find interesting things that I think they would see some vision in it as well. Yep, that's that box. Now we'll definitely need some packing material. And let me throw a bonus in this one as well. Oh, what can I find here? I don't know. This is a CD-ROM or CD drive reader. So again, this is motorized. I've left the motors on. Maybe what, 5 cents worth of copper in them. All the mechanics are here. They might be able to get in here and wire this thing up and figure out how to make it work and make it spin and slide back and forth with an Arduino, and they could have something cool with it that way. So that'll be my bonus for this box. And I will have to keep track. In fact, I'll write it down here in just a second. Pencil. This is box 2. This is box 1. So I'm keeping track of which box is which to go in the pictures. And on to box 3. Actually, let me set box 3 up first. Just so I got a flat space to work on while I do it. I'm going to press 4 of these boxes right now. I'll throw them up on eBay with maybe a $5 starting price to cover the value of what's inside the box, plus a little bit extra for fees. And then we'll see where they go, if they go anywhere. And if they don't go anywhere, I'll take it to the community that I work with, and we'll see what they do. So again, 5 CD-ROM cases. I don't know why I got 6 here, but I'm out of those big heat sink, so I'll go with a few extras here. This is an interesting piece. This is a double cassette drive. I've left the motors in again, so they can actually get in here and wire it up. You know what? No, I want this. I want to play with it. Might give it to somebody later. This is another tuning assembly, except it's a different type that's got the air, I think it's air capacitors or something like that. But something they can play with. They might be able to make something, do something cool with it. That's the whole thing, making it look cool. Oh, let's see, they need a lens. They need a flange to go with the lens. I'm not even making sure that the lens is the right one. Let's see. Another piece of aluminum, and I've got the screws that go into this one. This is the base off of a plasma TV. A little neck that connects the base to the bottom of the TV. Oh, let's see. Let's do another motor end. We'll do another VCR head. That's an interesting bit. A couple more antenna. I'll grab out some more heat sinks here. Like that one, we'll do one of those, one of those, one of those, one of those. That can go over. I think that was aluminum, so I'm going to toss it over there and melt down. That's an interesting bit. And here's a lens. Who knows what they'll be able to do with that, but we'll toss it in there and see what they think. Okay, a little bit more. Starting to run low on variety is my problem. Another motor in there. Heat sink. Heat sink will slide you up there, slide you there, slide you there. So you're getting two of those. That looks a little bit more full now. Take a couple pictures. And this video may take me a couple weeks to produce here because I'm packing it today. I need to put it up on eBay, and then once the eBay auctions are done, that's when I'll be able to come back and report on what, if anything, happened with it. Okay, everything's flipped. Picture 2 is done. And I usually try to start packing the big stuff first, or things with odd angles. Down in there. You can go over the top of that. There. Now it's just a matter of stacking everything in here. And see, this was the buttons, and the buttons are actually in there for a fan, so they can play with it and turn it into something cool, I'm sure. Will I have any space in here? A little bit. I will toss you in as a bonus. And let's get one more heat sink. One more little tape. And I'd say, you know, if I'm kind of sort of lucky, we'll see what I get out of all this, but if I'm kind of sort of lucky, I'm figuring I'll get about $100 for the 4 boxes combined. Okay. What did I do with my boxes? There we go. And I'll take a weight on these boxes once I'm done here too, just for giggles. Okie dokie. This piece, I definitely think it will be interesting, but it will not fit in a flat rate box. Or a medium flat rate box, at least not this style. So I'll have to grab some other boxes to send it out to somebody in. But it's definitely a cool piece. This is the base out of another monitor. So cool piece. Cast aluminum, I believe. So, but weighs maybe half a pound. So what? 20 cents, 30 cents. Let's see. There's their flange, there's their lens. That's another cool piece out of a TV, some heat sinks. Oops. Put those down. So we got to put down our five hard drive cases. Motor end, burner, heat sink. You'll see a common pattern in a lot of this is it's a lot of heat sinks. But the heat sinks are some of the cool stuff that we find in all this. Another burner. This I think was out of a plasma TV, or I'm not sure what it was. Another heat sink. Another motor end. A couple more heat sinks. I'll stand that one up on end. I'm leaving this one on end because it's got a really cool pattern on it. And believe it or not, I saw a heat sink the other day. I do not know the source, but the heat sink is from, or they were able to identify it as part of the torture device that they use in The Empire Strikes Back for Han Solo. One of the things on the panel that comes up against him, they were able to figure out that that's what that heat sink was. And that one heat sink is sold on eBay for like $100. Or not from the movie, but just another one that looked like it. So, yeah, people will pay a lot of money for a lot of this stuff, especially if they can identify it specifically to one scene. This stuff I'm not worried about. You know, that one might come out of something that was cool, but you know, who knows. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Here. We'll give him one of these motors. Let's see if I can fill this out here more. So here's another tuner, and I don't know. They might think this is cool too. Another little motor piece. Slide you up. There's a little AM/FM display. Maybe they can do something with that. Pictures. There's that picture. When I do this, I try to do a variety. Everything has been positioned. There's my second picture. Let's box it up. Biggest piece first. And the other thing is I try not to clean these pieces up. Sometimes they prefer to have the patina of the piece as it is now. And so I leave them that option. Bottom there. There. Sometimes you can stack your heat sinks together if they're matched. See, this was out of a, if not the same motor, out of one very, very similar to it. go. Let's see if I can put a bonus in there. That's something cool. I think it was out of a record player. So, I will now go and put these up on eBay and we'll see what happens. Have a good one.